Hello, Orange Army. Sanbonani. Welcome to In Conversation here on UJTV. I am your host. My name is Zethembe, and I'm super excited about the conversation we're about to have today, simply because I remember back in 2022 when I was coming to Johannesburg for my first year. Now, like many students who are here at UJ and other universities, I am the first one in my family to go to university. And that meant that my family did not know how to go about supporting me, advising me the right way. And I thought that should not ever happen to everybody ever again, okay? Because you've got big brothers and sisters here who are part of this family that is the Orange Army. The title of our conversation today is Uni 101. We're touching base on everything you need to know as you start your academic journey here at the University of Johannesburg. And for this convo, we have an incredible panel, okay? Starting things off with the lady who joined the University of Johannesburg back in 2019 for her BA in Film and Television and went on in 2022 to pursue her BA Honours in Communication. She's now also a national broadcaster working for the SABC, everybody. Her name is Karabohobo. Hello, my lady. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now, I think already after what I just said, somebody wants to know, how does one become a national broadcaster? 3 steps to becoming a national broadcaster.
Ooh, okay. Hone your talent.
Sure.
Be consistent and believe in yourself.
Incredible. Yep. And that's why she joins us for this conversation. You can already hear those pearls of wisdom dropping right there. And also joining us on our panel is a man who's currently doing his final year in his BSc in Informatics and Computer Sciences. He's also a sports anchor on UJFM Breakfast. His name is Usivuyile Hans. Siv, you good this morning?
I'm all right in yourself, good sir.
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic right there. Now, this is the man who normally advises me on what laptop to buy. Is that what your course entails anyways?
Not really. We're more on the software side of things.
Sure.
Hardware is more computer engineering. But we fall under similar fields of study.
All right, incredible stuff. And thirdly, on our panel is a lady who is currently a psychology honors candidate who in 2022 was awarded with the Humanities Academic Achiever Award and was part of the Dean's List. Now, that sounds fantastic. Being part of the Dean's List, tell us, how do you get there, girl?
Dedication, hard work, and actually crying.
Oh, yes. Those sleepless nights, baby, and those tears have to go in. But also, what is the Dean's List for somebody who doesn't know?
It is it is a very prestigious academic award. It is almost a recognition of your academic achievements, your efforts, into being a well-rounded academic within your faculty.
Absolutely love that. And lastly, joining us on our panel this morning is a man who is currently pursuing his BA Honours in Film and Television. But that was not something that he did for undergrad, as he did his BA in Psychology and Communication and Media. Now, it feels to me like there was a transition of, specialties right there. Psychology one time, and now your honours is in Film and Television. How does it happen?
Totally. So for me, I had 2 majors. It was Psychology and Communication and Media. In our 3rd year, that's when we really got into film. So I kind of fell in love with film there. Sure. But I've always had a passion for storytelling in some sense. Yeah. And then with psychology, it just chose me, honestly. And then I kind of feel bad that I never got in, but there's still time.
There's still time. You know, there's a saying in isiZulu that is currently trending a lot on social media. It says, if iphupho alifi umnikazi walo esaphila. So whilst you're still alive, that dream is still possible. Absolutely love that. So for our conversation, I think I want us to go down, memory lane a bit. Take a trip down memory lane and reflect on those days where you found out that you've been accepted to the University of Johannesburg to come and study this side. You registered and now you're making your way to UJ, the big city. How was that feeling like? Do you remember how it felt coming to UJ to start your studies?
So, funny story, I had initially applied for 2018 and for a different course. So it was for a BA in Strategic Communication and I was accepted, but I was too late to register. So then when I applied in the new year, which was 2019, which was for 2019, even in that year, I was rejected for that course. So then I got accepted for the Film and Television. So I was gutted in 2018, but in 2019, I was excited, I was happy. Finally, I'm going to varsity.
Yeah. And come on, that bounce back, it sounds like something that would discourage me. to, keep on trying, and what you actually want initially doesn't come to life. How was it bounce back, and how did you, I would say, condition yourself to say, this is where we're going, this is where the journey is taking us?
It was so difficult because it felt like this course that I want to do so badly doesn't want me. Twice in a row. And I just, just took it with a positive stride and just decided, you know what, let me go study film and television. It's also not too far off because I've always wanted to be in the media industry anyway. So let's see where it takes us. And fortunately, I ended up doing communications, which is what I've wanted exactly.
From the first
place.
Absolutely love that. When you came to varsity, how was it like coming to the big city, my man?
I think it was just, I love the independence of it all. Yeah, just coming to a different space. Now I can take calls at 10 p.m. No one's going to tell me, hey, why are you on the phone at 10 p.m. in my household? Under my roof, you don't do something. So now just making sure that, you keep within your space. You're just enjoying yourself. You don't go crazy. You don't go out of control. You just make sure that whatever you're doing, is within the realm of reason. So I think that independence was great for me.
Love that. Millie, for you, how was it? And also, was there any culture shocks for you? You're from the Eastern Cape, if I'm not mistaken.
I am.
And then now here's the big city. Tall buildings and all. I mean, the tallest building back at home is like 5 stories tall. And the building we're in right now, 10 plus stories. How was that for you, the adaptation to the big city?
It wasn't even that as an issue because I am from Eastern Cape, but I grew up here for for an extended period of my life. But the culture shock maybe came in the fact that I was older than most of my classmates. So when I was doing my first year, I think I was turning 24. Yes, and so I'm looking at these fresh out of high school children. And I'm worried about how am I going to relate to them. This is a really, really big institution. I think that is actually what was the culture shock for me, is that UJ is huge. It is a ginormous building. It is a very vast space. And when you arrive, it feels like everybody already knows everyone. So who will you get to know? So I was terrified almost that I would not be able to relate to anyone. I would not be able to connect with anyone. However, I was not here for others. I was here for me. I think the journey to get into varsity for me was so tough and so extended and so long that I decided that when I got there, I was going to do everything in my mind possible to be at the top of the academic everything.
Love that. And I mean, Spiwe, teachers sell university to us. I wouldn't know about your teachers, but my teachers told me a lot of things that I should expect should I get to varsity. So I was excited about a lot of things, excited that I'm going to meet more beautiful people. They told me, what were you most excited about coming to uni?
So just to give also like a little bit of a background story, in 2019 I did my matric, 2020 I applied, got rejected, 2021 applied, got rejected, and then finally in 2022 I got in. And then for me, arriving, a lot of the things were like, I felt like Millie, I felt like I was a bit older now. But when I got here, I realized that it's really a chilled place and the people are really cool. Never really had problems with anything. And then my highlights was like the independence. That was amazing. Really amazing.
Love that. And now I want us to talk all things, the things you wish somebody told you before you came to university. I don't think they tell us the not so nice side about things. They tell you you're going to be independent. They tell you they tell you all these great things, but there's a downside to things as well. And I mean, we've spent so many years here, part of this university community. What is that one thing that you wish somebody had told you before you came to uni?
I think for me is the academic pressure. So we're just told that get there, focus, avoid boys or going to groove, all of that. But the academic pressure, I wasn't ready for it. And the jump from high school to varsity, it's really not the same. You may have been a top achiever in high school, and then you get to varsity and realize that, it's not cute.
It's not cute.
And now keeping up with those 80s and 90s that you used to get in high school is so difficult.
It is so difficult. I agree with you. I mean, I used to be a straight A as well. And I think it's like 80% of us in university who actually used to achieve such good marks back in high school, back in primary. But then we get here, you're surprised, why am I getting 55s? Why am I getting 60s? And I think it's a lot of factors that play into that. One of them, in my opinion, is that nobody actually now runs after you. Remember how your teachers would say, where's your homework? Why didn't you do your homework? No one now is going to run after you to do your work. You now have to be disciplined and do the work yourself, which is not always easy. You know what I mean? But for you, Sev, what is that one thing you wish somebody had told you before you came to varsity?
I would say second year, ciao.
Yes.
Second year,
Is it not first
ciao.
year?
No, first year, you're free, you're chilling. You
It's a lot of work for me.
No, second years, I feel like it's the worst. So, I think first year, what happens is that you have a lot of free time on your hands and you think it continues, that trend continues. Absolutely not. Second year, work pressure, it just piles up, everything gets worse. Your time, you don't have that time anymore. So I think if someone had told me that second year is one of the worst years you'll ever experience, I think I would have been way more prepared. I would have been like, okay, sure, fun time over, let's lock in.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't focus from first year, okay? From first year, you're locking in, okay? What was it for you, Millie?
Wow. I think it is that there is such a thing as too much of a good thing.
Okay.
You can be too busy at school. You can be.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it all. You know, I wanted to be an academic overachiever. I wanted to be a tutor. I wanted to dig my roots so deep into the institution and leave an indelible mark. But there is a point where you're doing too much. And so all of these good things, all of this accrual that I was trying to do, it eventually got too much for me. I was working 2 jobs in final year. I was doing pageantry. I was doing research. I was doing anything possible because I was trying to make my resume look good. But it ended up being to my detriment. So there is to my detriment.
I love that because I want us to talk about mental health a bit later on, but maybe just to, close off this one with you, Spiwe Oguti, is there anything that you've learned now that you wish somebody had told you before you came to varsity?
So for me, it has to be networking. We're told get here, study. But then when I got here, then I realized that there's actually opportunities and the people around here are the people you could be working with in the future. So then networking, just having a network of friends, not just friends, but also like people that you're going to start businesses with. Some of the things that I've done in the university, like with the media side, it was through networking, so networking.
I love the fact that you're touching on friends because I want us to now touch on some of the biggest mistakes we've done here in this university era, whether you went to groove a bit too much, whatever it may be, and what lesson did that teach you? Is there anything you're like, I wish I did not do this the way I did it? Because maybe the whole result and the whole outcome would have been totally different had I done things the right way. Because I feel like we always know what's right. We just sometimes don't choose to go for that, right? We think we have time, we think we have all these things, but that's not always the case, right? So is there something that you've done that you probably regret now, which taught you your biggest lesson about varsity?
So for me, there was a period in varsity where I was just going through a phase. I was going out a lot. And I remember this was my final year. I was going out knowing that I have an exam the next day. The studying was hard because obviously I would go out, so probably I would have an exam Monday.
Who are your friends? Those are the who were these people?
No, I think I was the problem because I would say no, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. So I'd probably be writing on a Monday, then go out on the Sunday, and didn't have enough time to prepare and study. Get there, and I get the shock of my life. And you know what? Never again. That's all I have to say.
Never again. I love that. Same for you.
I think it's following along what Millie said earlier about too much of a good thing. So what was happening during one of my years of study was that I was trying to upskill myself while studying. So what we have in my course, we have different career fields that you can take. One of them being a full stack engineer where you handle both developing on your servers and developing on your web front side of things. Yeah, it's very techie jargon. I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can.
Sure.
But yeah, it's you're doing 2 jobs at once. Yeah. Essentially, that's a full stack. So I was getting a certificate for that, and I was studying. Now the full stack thingy required a lot more attention than my academics. So there was a point where I was fully burnt out. I was unable to do either or. I was just tired at the end of the day. I woke up tired, I slept tired, everything. So I think, just being unable to balance, taking on too much at once, that was my biggest mistake.
But then one may come on and argue, guys, and say that we're not wrong for upskilling ourselves because South Africa's job market is not the cutest, hey? You come out with your degree, there's other requirements such as work experience, and you wonder, where am I going to take work experience though? I was in school, everybody. So one may argue and say that it's actually a good thing to actually upskill yourself whilst you're in varsity, but then maybe once again, as you guys said, it can be too much. Just try to balance that and make sure it's not too much. Mili, what was it for you, my girl?
Sacrificing my mental health. Yes. Sacrificing working on myself. One of the things I decided to do when I came to varsity was to use PsyCAD. You're getting free therapy. It is very expensive.
Preach, man.
And for here it's free. And I was doing it first year, I was in therapy, second and third. But in my final year, it was when I was doing all of these things so busy, and I just decided I just don't have 1 hour a week to give to, to my therapist. That was a mistake, I think.
That was a mistake you did. And I mean, there's no glory in overworking yourself, guys. We think being busy, being booked and busy, it sounds like a good thing because we see some of our favorite role models are celebrities and all doing all these things. And it looks like this good thing. There's no glory in not resting. The person who made us even said rest, take out time and rest. What was it for you, Spiwe?
For me, it's pushing back work, saying I'll do this next week, I'll do this
Procrastination.
and then a time comes where it's test week. Now I have 10 chapters to read in a week, and so I learned to start prioritizing and actually trying to do the work on time. Sometimes it may be hard to keep it, but at least try to chow, just bits and bits.
Because it is possible, honestly. I think we also have just to dramaticalize things, if there's such a word, and say, oh no, it's just too much work anyways. No, it's actually possible if you do a lot of great things alongside your time. Because I know for me, time management has been my biggest enemy since I came to varsity. You would know, so first year I came to varsity, I'm doing my Bachelor of Laws. Second year, I joined UJFM. And there's absolutely nothing wrong. Remember, a radio show is 3 hours, right? But I remember when I started, I had a show on a Saturday, and I would literally procrastinate the entire week because I'm planning my show. Who does that? You know what I mean?
Your schoolwork
is taking a step back. So I think it's important to note that as much as you try to upskill yourself, try to do something else on the side, it's important to remember why we came here in the first place. The University of Johannesburg is an educational institution. You know what I mean? I want us to close it off now. You're going to fill out this with a missing word for you, a personal missing word, okay? You cannot survive uni without...
Groove.
Real. So real.
Is that real? Why is it real?
Listen, stress builds and it builds and it builds.
Sure.
And then groove is like,
You need an
fun
outlet.
way, you know what I'm saying, to let it out.
Yeah. Release.
Well, letting it out may be, many other activities, but I'm just going to lock that one in there. What is it for yourself? You can't survive uni without.
I think I'm going to speak generally, a crutch. So, Karabo, it's groove.
Sure.
STEM people, we love our earthly desires. It's not me. I love my religion very much so.
Yes.
So I think, for me, it was religion. Speaking to God on a daily basis.
Yes,
I think for other people it might be alcohol. Hey, do you,
boo? You have the option to do that, and I mean I agree with that. For me, it's been that as well. That higher power, whatever the higher power is for you, by the way. For me, it could be God. For you, it could be your ancestors or Patha, whatever it may be. I think having a bigger power, it almost puts you in this bubble where it's delulu in a realistic manner, but like knowing that someone is taking care of it on your behalf, nothing is like that. Absolutely. you can't survive uni without?
Sure. Mine is actually quite similar to Siv's, but I think you can't survive uni without thyself.
Sure.
Yes. You cannot survive uni without thyself. So
Yeah.
take care of thyself, uni will take care of itself.
That's a bad dog.
Right? You can't survive uni without what?
My laptop, and I'll say why. I will say why. Because at some point in my second year, I didn't have a phone, didn't have a laptop. So it was hectic. And having to go sit at the computer labs, which sometimes are timed, you have to circulate. Sometimes the work piles up. So it definitely has to be my laptop.
I agree with you. So do you know what I did? Last year, my laptop fell and it broke. So it does not work well now. So I decided to leave it at home as I was home for the December holidays. And then I bought a new phone and a tablet. And I thought my tablet is going to be my laptop. No, it's not working. I'm planning to buy a laptop now. So you definitely need a laptop. But then would you guys say I'm wrong to say you can't survive uni without friends as well?
Oh, true. Definitely.
Like ngesizulu sithi ayikho inkomo edla yodwa. It's just impossible to do uni alone. From time to time, you're going to run out of sugar. You need to knock at somebody's door and say, hi, girl, I need 2 spoons of sugar because I need to have my coffee. I'm about to run late for class and all of that. You need people who are going to anchor you because remember, our families are no longer here. You know, we're no longer with our moms who cuddle us and do all these great things for us. We're on our own. And so you have to build a community, which I think also goes back to what you said, Spur, a bit earlier on about networking. Always important, that one. Shout out to my friends as well. I wouldn't be here without you guys. I don't know. Sometimes you're sick. You can't go to class. Who gives you notes? Guys, friends. Very important, that one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. I just know it's going to come in handy for somebody. I needed this conversation to be had by certain people. I don't know who, I don't know where, but I just know now, 4 years later, that I needed this conversation to be had by people who have walked this journey. And so thank you so much for making time for us and coming through to give the Orange Army Uni 101.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. There you have it, Uni 101 on In Conversation here on UJTV. We're going to be back very soon with yet another episode. But until then, as you wait for all of that, be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share with your friends. They truly might need such a conversation. Until then, Zethembe ingungule shama pio pezo intaba kalamadod bese kalabafazi. Goodbye and God bless.